Conference will now be recorded.
Okay. So guys, let's look at it like this. Every holiday, the mitzvahs of those holidays align with the holiday, with the message, with the power of that holiday. Okay? So let's go through them. Let's start with Sukkot. Okay? So what is Sukkot all about? Well, no, that's Shavuot. Okay? Sukkot is our traveling. Well, let's start with Pesach. We'll go in order. Right? What is Pesach? Exodus from Egypt. What are the mitzvot that we have of Pesach?
Like eating matzah or
Yeah, I would say.
or carbon Pesach?
Well, for us,
Currently
yeah, okay. Currently, it will be matzah, the
Seder.
Pesach Seder, which is all about, the Seder is all about our not just talking about, but trying to tangibly re-experience the Exodus from Egypt. And we're eating matzah, we're not eating chametz. Perfect, right? Those mitzvot align beautifully. How are you, Doc? Those mitzvot, hey Trish, those mitzvot, we're saying how every holiday, the mitzvot align with the motive, with the essence of that holiday. So Pesach is the Exodus from Egypt, and we have the Pesach Seder. We eat matzah. We don't eat chametz, right? So it's all about Pesach oriented. Shavuot, what happened on Shavuot? Moses, Mount Sinai, receiving the Ten Commandments, receiving the Torah. So we don't really have specific Shavuot mitzvot, but what are our customs to do on Shavuot? Are we in your way, Jose? Oh, you don't have to. You're welcome to veer. This is your place, right? So Shavuot, right? What is our custom on Shavuot? Eating dairy is one thing, and learning Torah. We stay up the whole night. Beautifully aligned. Okay. Sukkot. Sukkot is commemorating the time that we were in the desert, the 40 years in the desert. We had the clouds of glory over us. So what do we do? What are the mitzvot that we have of Sukkot? Eating in the sukkah, right? Perfectly aligned. We also, the lulav etrog, we'll be shaking. How does that fit in?
Learn about the seven species.
Well, no, because none of those are of the seven species, right? None of those. Well, that's already getting a little bit midrashic, right? But the simplest way of looking at it is we're about to ask God for the rain. We're going to include that in our tefillot, in our prayers. And therefore, if we're asking God for rain, what do we want to show him? We're using your blessing of rain to do good things for your mitzvot, right? You know, if you want something from somebody, right? If you're going to petition, you're going to raise funds for something, right? So you want to show the person you're going to, hey, this is what we've been doing. This is where it's going. So to speak, we're telling God, hey, you give us the rain. Look what we do. We do mitzvot with it, right? Good. Okay. Yom Kippur. Yom Kippur is the Day of Atonement, the day that
Moses came down the third time.
Good.
The second time.
Carrying the second luchot, the tablets, and a message of forgiveness. So that the Yom Kippur is all about readying ourselves, turning ourselves into a vessel for forgiveness with teshuvah, fasting, etc., all of those things. Okay. Hanukkah, what happened on Hanukkah? The oil lasted. So what do? We light a Chanukiah. Beautiful. Purim, right? Right? We celebrated after the day that was meant for our destruction, and we turned around and fought against our enemies, and then we rested and celebrated on the day after. So we celebrate on Purim. We also have a Seudah, right? And we read the Megillah. It's all perfectly aligned. Which one have I purposely left out? Rosh Hashanah. Rosh Hashanah is the day of the new year, day of judgment. But historically, what is it? The day of the creation of humankind. The day of the creation of Adam. Okay? That is when Hashem became, so to speak, the Melech, the king, so to speak. Our understanding is that God created this world so there would be these free-willed beings, that's us, who can decide to become godly by doing things that draw us close to God, mitzvot, staying away from things that distance us from God, averot, and thereby be able to have this eternal connection with God. And therefore, human beings, we are the apex of creation, right? We have to be kind to animals. Tsar balei chayim, we can't cause them any anguish. However, right, it's not like, well, what makes you any better than the whale? Save the whale and forget the person. No, right? Human beings are the apex of creation. And therefore, that's the day that God became, so to speak, the Melech, the king. And we coronate God every year, and that's like a recreation. And what's the mitzvah of Rosh Hashanah?
Blowing the shofar.
Shofar. What is the connection? What is the connection between shofar and God becoming the king? What is the connection?
Sacrifice.
Okay, it relates to the Akedah, the binding of Isaac. How does it relate to the binding of Isaac? Good. The ram was brought in his place. Okay. So how would that? So okay, and that shows our dedication to God. Okay, good. Okay. Anything else?
Isn't a show?
Is it Sinai?
It's like, is it my phone? As a like spiritual alarm clock to wake you up to.
Okay, good. The shofar is there to Uru Yeshenim Mitarde Matchem. Wake up, you who are slumbering from your slumber. Okay, good. I mean, of course, it could have used a drum, right? There are lots of ways to wake up, right? I think we all have alarms that we set in the morning. Anyone using a shofar? Personally, I haven't. That's not my means of an alarm clock, right? No, I don't think so. Anybody feel free to light up your cameras and to open up and speak up also. Okay, good to see you, Esty. Good. Any other ideas? Well, we're coronating the king. Doo-doo! I mean, I wasn't there at the coronation of the last king of England. I imagine they had lots of things, lots of trumpets blowing, I would imagine. It's a coronation of the king. But the explanation that I like the most is, how does the Torah describe the creation of humankind? How does the Torah describe it? Very beginning of Bereshit. How does the Torah describe it? Yeah, but of humankind, not Shemayim va'aretz, right? He gathered the earth, formed it, and then what did he do?
Made Adam.
Yeah, how did he make Adam?
He blew.
He blew into it a nefesh chaya, and he came to life. Okay? So Rosh Hashanah, the mitzvah that we do is we are redoing. We are going through the same thing. We're taking this object that's not full of that is lifeless, and we are bringing it to life, infusing it with ruach. Okay. Customs that we have on Rosh Hashanah. So on the first night of Rosh Hashanah, we have a lot of called the simanim. What are simanim? Different signs, different sign foods that we have. right? Most famously, dip the apple, right? What's that all about? What is that all about? Apples,
Well,
honey.
the honey commemorates sweet year, so we should
We
have
want
a sweet year.
we should have a sweet year. Okay, good. So the idea of simana miltahi, the siman is of significance, is the way things start. That is how they then unfold afterwards. Okay, so we want to start the year with all of these sweet things, all of these omens, all of these types of food that allude to all of these different ideas. And I have to say, probably about 3 years ago at Rosh Hashana, we eat this and we eat silka, salak, beets. Our enemies should be removed, and we eat gaza that our enemies should be cut off. Our enemies, our enemies, our enemies, our enemies. I remember feeling and even commenting that I don't know. I think we have an overemphasis on our enemies over here, and I guess being born when I was in between, well after World War II, right? I was being lulled into a false state of complacency, right? And then October 7th happened. And now we realize just how many enemies we have around, whether they're countries, whether they are individuals, right? I mean, it's just, and now I'm very, unfortunately, sadly, I'm very comfortable saying all of these Yehi Ratzons, may it be your will, God, that our enemies this, our enemies that, our enemies this, our enemies that. Sadly, tragically, it no longer feels like an overkill, like we're overdoing it. Okay. Some very, very fundamental changes take place in our davening, okay? Starting with Rosh Hashanah and going straight through Yom Kippur, okay? And that is, well, there are a number of these different, try getting a couple of seats. 5 or 6 if you can. Right? Thank you, Paz. The most important, I would say, change that we make is in the third bracha of the Amidah. Normally we say Baruch Atah Hashem Hakel Hakadosh. Here we say Hamelech Hakadosh. Blessed are you, God, Hakel, the God who is holy. We refer to him now as the Melech, the King that is holy. And of all the 6 changes that we make, the other 5, if you missed it, you missed it. Keep on going. That one, if you missed it, then you've got to play it again, Sam. You've got to start it all over again from the beginning. Thank you. People can look on a little bit together.
This is just in those 10 days?
Yes. Rosh Hashanah through Yom Kippur. Good. I'll take one. You guys share one. Yes. The high holiday season. Okay. So if you take a look, let's take a look at page 98. Okay. That's the Amidah that we say in the morning for Shacharit. So the first blessing, right? We don't mess with the first 3 blessings. However, we do have certain things that we add in. So look at the gray box on page 98. Those of you who have the Siddur at home, page 98, the gray box. Zachrenu l'chaim. Remember us for life. Melech chafetz b'chaim. O King who desires life. The Katveinu, the Sefer Chaim, and inscribe us in the book of life. L'mancha, for your sake, Elokim Chayim, O living God. Right? The first 2 brachot have an insert before the bracha. That's the first one. Turn to page 100. That's the second bracha. And again, the gray box, we insert Mi chamocha av harachamim, who is like you, merciful Father. Zocher Yitzurav, you remember, who he calls his creatures. L'chaim, for life. Birachamim, with compassion. With both of those, if you omitted it, You keep on going. Now turn to page 102, right? That's the third blessing. Ata kadosh, you are holy. B'shimcha kadosh, your name is holy. Ukadoshim, and the holy ones, b'chol yom, every day, praise you. Hallelujah chasela, baruch ata Hashem, blessed are you, God. Normally we say Hakel HaKadosh, God, the holy God. Now we instead say the holy King. If you got this one wrong, you've got to correct it. But correcting it is not so simple because the first three brachot are considered to be a trio of brachot. So therefore, you can't just correct. If you said Hakel HaKadosh, Hamelech HaKadosh, that's fine. But once you've started the next blessing, you've kind of locked in your mistake. One would need to restart the Amidah. Okay? So, as I said, there'd be 6 changes. That one is the essential one. In that, if you didn't do that, we need to repeat. That's how important it is that during these days we focus that we are living in God's kingdom, right? We discussed this. Every mitzvah that we do is meant to give us God awareness. Here I am, living, walking, breathing in God's world, right? We mentioned this, right? You go to the store, you check the food is kosher, right? Oh, I'm remembering this is my Garden of Eden moment, right? What do I eat? What don't I eat? This is my Eitz Hadat. This is my tree of knowledge of good and evil that I'm not supposed to eat, right? That's what we're doing. We are reliving that every time we check. Every mitzvah we do is meant to give us the God awareness. We're in God's world, especially when we are during these 10 days. These 10 days, Rosh Hashanah, intermediary days, Yom Kippur, known as the 10 days of repentance. There we have the tradition that God is coming to us. The Hasidic world looks at it as Melech Basadeh, right? The king is in the field, right? The example they gave, if you want to see the king, oh, you got to go through all the guards and the appointments, and maybe in a year or two you'll have an appointment. When he's traveling, when the king is in the field, there is a greater degree of accessibility, right? And that is during this time. So therefore we have to feel Hamelech HaKadosh. The king is here. We're in God's world. He is here. There's an interesting halacha that a person should try to raise the bar a little bit on their observance during those days. Even if you know that comes the day after Yom Kippur, I'm going back to what I was doing before, but I should raise the bar during those 10 days. Now, one might say, that sounds a little bit hypocritical. What? Who are we fooling over here? Who are we fooling over here? God knows I'm going to go back. I know I'm going to go back, right? What's the point in raising the bar during those 10 days? Any ideas?
Well, isn't every day a new day for starters? So it's what you may plan doing in the future is irrelevant.
Okay.
In the present.
Okay. Right. Who knows? Maybe you'll continue. Okay. And even if you know you won't continue, I want to argue it still makes sense and it's still very meaningful and it's not hypocritical at all. Let's say you have a very important guest coming to your house. Very important guest coming to your house. So let's say, theoretically speaking, of course, that your house is not always so neat. That's it, theoretically speaking. Right? Let's assume. I'm asking for a friend, right? Right? Let's say your house is not always so neat, but a very important guest is coming. So what do? You straighten up in honor of that guest. It's hypocritical. When they leave, it's going to get sloppy again. Is that hypocritical? Not in the least. What is it?
Respect.
It's respect.
Avoid judgment.
It's
mine more like avoid judgment
or
gossip.
Or you're worried about others' judgment.
No,
Yeah, exactly.
But ideally, you're not doing it because they're going to say I keep a dirty house. You're doing it out of respect for
That's
them,
true, yeah.
right? You might be running around your house in a pair of in sweatpants and a t-shirt, and those so and so's at the door. Oh, right. Oh, let me change out of the sweatpants and a t-shirt. Are you going to switch back to the sweatpants and t-shirt when they leave? Right? Is that hypocritical? Not hypocritical. It's a show of respect. During these 10 days, by raising our bar a little bit, we're showing that respect. We're showing that cognizance, that realization. And remember, concept, Adam nifal kafi pu'ulotav. We are acted upon by our actions. What we do on the outside kind of causes us to feel some movement in the inside. If I'm acting with respect during that time, then I'm going to feel more respect in that time. I'm going to feel that God is there with me. Lily, want to say something? So I'm going to feel that more. Okay? Rosh Hashanah is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful davening. It's a bit longer than we normally have. And on Rosh Hashanah, I mentioned we have lots of, well, the regular part of davening is basically the same, right? When it comes to the repetition of the Amidah, that's where we have a lot of different things that are there, and the pages will all be announced as we go through. The Amidah on Rosh Hashanah is unique, meaning a regular Amidah always has the first three, last three, and during a weekday, how many in the middle? Another 13 in the middle, okay? And on a holiday or on Shabbat, we have 3 in the beginning, 3 in the end, and we have 1 in the middle. That speaks about that day. Rosh Hashanah is unique that we have 3, the regular standard 3 beginning, 3 in the end, and then we have 3 in the middle. And those are 3 pillars of what Rosh Hashanah is about. Malchiyut, Zichronot, Shofarot. Malchiyut is God being the Melech, the king that we've been discussing. Zichronot is God's remembrance of everything that has ever happened. Shofarot is linking different shofarot. The shofar, so to speak, of creation, the shofar of giving the Torah, and the shofar of the Mashiach. Those are the shofarot, the 3 shofarot that we have of our existence, of who we are on this massive view of Jewish history. So each of those has its own bracha, its own blessing in the Musaf Amidah over there. Okay. Any questions about Rosh Hashanah?
Do we still go through and repeat it the same way we would on like Shabbat?
The Amidah?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, but it's a very lengthy repetition because whereas typically the repetition is simply repeating what we said during our own personal prayer, here there's a lot more that is added. Okay.
Quick question. So
Yes.
Hashana is 2 days, right? On the
2
Tuesday
days.
And Wednesday.
And it's 2 days of Yom Tov, meaning no driving, no. It's like 2 days of Shabbos,
Shabbos.
except it's like Yom Tov. The main difference of Shabbos and Yom Tov is you're allowed to cook. You can't ignite a flame, you can't extinguish a flame, but with an existing flame, you can cook. A good way of warming things up, right, is if you have, get a 3-day candle that you light before and that we had an existing flame. If you use like those chafing dishes and sternos, right, that's a very easy way to pass the flame over, warm the food up, and then it will go out on its own after 4 hours, 2 hours, 6 hours, depending on what the sterno is. That's just a way of doing it, but that's what it is. Does that help, Natalie?
Yes. How about the gas oven?
Okay, if you have a pilot, okay, so the gas oven, what you would need to do is take a match from an existing flame, put it over there, and then turn it on. But then you can't turn it off, keep in mind.
And you can lower it, right?
Well,
Are you allowed to lower it once you go higher?
if I'm cooking, if I'm lowering it for the needs of my cooking, I can.
But when you're done, you have to.
Correct. That's why the sternos are a very good, a good method to use. I'm sorry?
Can you like fully cook a meal on Yom Tov?
You can, as long as you use, right?
You're using it.
Correct. Now we have electric starters on ours, so we put in a kill switch, so that way there's no electricity running to it, no electric starter, and then if we need it, we'll pass the flame over and use that. Electric starters are going to be a problem because once again, that's going to be igniting. Okay.
Rabbi?
Yes.
Yeah, can
Sorry.
Carry on Rosh
And can
Hashanah.
carry. Correct.
If someone
Like
wants to blow shofar for someone in the hospital or something,
Correct.
you carry the shofar and blow it for your friend that's sick.
Correct. Yes, Lily.
Rabbi, so both days of Rosh Hashanah will also be Yom Tov?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
Thank you.
49 hours of Yom Tov.
Okay.
Okay, good. Yom
you.
Kippur is well actually Yom Kippur is on Wednesday night.
Yeah.
Wednesday night, Thursday. Yeah. Okay, so we can get together Tuesday. We can get together Tuesday, right? We can definitely do that.
23rd, Tuesday and Wednesday.
No, actually, wait.
Rosh
Rosh
Hashanah.
Hashanah.
Rosh Hashanah.
Yeah, it's Monday night, Tuesday night, Wednesday. Yeah. Yom Kippur is the week after, Wednesday night, Thursday.
So October the 2nd.
Yes. But it begins, yeah, there's a Yom Kippur, there's a lot. It begins the night of, as always, it begins the night before. Why is it that we Jews are so strange? Why do we always start the night before? Why does our day start with the night? It's a day, for heaven's sake. Why does a day start with a night? Sorry?
Over here, the Evoke area.
Categorized as when the sun is in the sky?
I'm sorry?
It's categorized like when the sun is in the sky, is that right?
Well, but we're starting already at night, right? So yeah, the pasuk says, okay, but why that?
That's what it says in the Torah.
Okay,
Hashem create the darkness first.
okay, by Erev Boker, good. And an explanation though is that we're always moving from darkness to light. We're always moving forward. Okay? This world is compared to darkness, confusion. Next world is compared to light. The Zman Mashiach, the time of the Mashiach, that's referred to as the Yom, the dawning. Right? The dawning of the age of, not Aquarius, the dawning of the age of Mashiach. Right? So that's how we are always working. It's interesting that there's one place where that's not the case. When it comes to sacrifices in the temple, if you bring a sacrifice by the day, you can eat it that day and that night, but not the next day. Right? And when you're making a blessing, let's say a blessing on studying Torah you make in the morning, it works for that day and for the next night, but not for the next day. Right?
Is there any correlation between the Rosh Hashanah and then the red cow?
No.
No. Adam asks about red cow almost every day, and I don't know what to say. He's like gets more upset if I don't know, and he's like, so I was like,
You have to forgiving your sins.
Yeah, the red cow is to purify a person if they
so
became.
it's Yom Kippur then.
It's not really Yom Kippur. That's for a specific type of impurity, right? Tumas kol tumas mate. Person came in contact with a body that was dead. So then there's tamei mate, right? It's not really so Yom Kippur related. But it's coming back to what we were saying before. So in the Beit HaMikdash, that was a place of absolute clarity. So there we don't have the night and then the day. There we have the absolute clarity, right? Torah study is similar to that. The Torah study is what gives us clarity in terms of this world, in terms of life, in terms of priorities, and therefore those are two cases where we have the night, where we go straight into the day.
Such
right?
as like offerings like the morning offering is for that specific day. It's not from the night prior, or like lighting the menorah. They lit it in the morning.
Correct. Okay, guys, I'm going to head into davening. So next week we will not be meeting. Let's meet again. Okay, timing wise, is a little bit. By then, davening is going to be a little bit earlier. Let's meet then at 5:45, or we can meet afterwards. Pretty soon, right? Sukkot, we have 2 Tuesdays of Yom Tov, Sukkot Shmini Atzeres. After that, or soon after that, we're going to be changing the clock to a 6:30, to a 6:30 Mariv every night. So I think we will convene after that. That makes the most sense. Like at 10 to 7 on Tuesday nights. The next few are just going to be a little bit off. So next Tuesday we could either convene at 5:45.
You mean the
Oh, sorry, in
following
2
30th?
weeks. Thank you. The 30th, Erev Yom Kippur. We could either convene at 5:45, or we can convene at probably 6, about 6:45 or 10 to 7. What works better for you guys? Early is better for you guys?
I'll be a little bit, a couple minutes late. My last meeting is around 5.
Okay. So let's go with 5:45, and then once we change the clock, let's keep it simple. Next time in 2 weeks it'll be at 5:45. Okay, good. If one of you guys could just put that onto the WhatsApp group, that way I'll remember what I just. Okay, thank you. Sorry, I forgot the document. You guys want to come to the stuff at the house and get it? You can. Whatever you guys want.
I mean, you made a good point. I don't think that's going to really happen to you. I mean, I have no idea. I don't even know what the process is going to be like.
But he said I spoke to him
Yeah,
about it.
I know he told me like right at the
They
end.
haven't given us his contact information.
They're-
I don't think they want us to talk.
Yeah, I don't know.
Is that weird?
I'll give it to you.
Okay.
Okay.
What are they gonna do? Fire me? Yeah, take my. Okay. Good seeing everybody. Have a good night.